50 Cent's evidence to save Lil Durk exposed as fake. Durk remains in detention with no updates on his final sentence. Welcome back to the channel where we bring you the rawest, most exclusive stories in the hip-hop world. Today we have a shocking update on Lil Durk's legal situation, and it's something that nobody saw coming. The evidence that 50 Cent reportedly used to try and save Lil Durk from his murder-for-hire case has now been exposed as fake, and because of this, Durkio is still being held in detention with no updates on his final sentence. This is one of the biggest twists in the rap game right now, and it raises serious questions about Durk's future. Is there any way out for him now, or is this the end of his career? We're about to break it all down, but before we get into it, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video so you don't miss any major updates. Trust me, this is one story you'll want to stay locked in for. Now let's get into the real deal. For those who haven't been following this case closely, let's rewind for a second. Lil Durk has been fighting serious legal battles for years, but his most recent case has been the most devastating yet. Authorities accused him of being involved in a murder-for-hire plot, something that could potentially put him behind bars for life if he's convicted. The evidence against him was already looking bad, and many believed that it was just a matter of time before he received a final sentence. That's when 50 Cent stepped in. 50, known for his business moves and industry power, reportedly got involved in Durk's case, claiming he had key evidence that could prove Durk's innocence. This evidence was allegedly strong enough to challenge the prosecution's claims, and for a moment, it seemed like Durk might actually have a way out of this mess. Fans were hopeful. The media started speculating about a potential breakthrough. But just when it seemed like things were turning in Durk's favor, the unthinkable happened. The evidence that 50 Cent brought forward was deemed fake by investigators. Let that sink in. The very thing that was supposed to save Durk has now made things worse. So what exactly happened? How did this evidence get exposed? And what does this mean for Lil Durk now? Let's break it all down. According to sources close to the case, the evidence that 50 Cent presented was supposed to be a game-changer, something that could disprove the allegations against Durk and shake the foundation of the prosecution's case. But as investigators dug deeper, they reportedly found serious inconsistencies in the documents, surveillance footage, and witness testimonies that were part of the evidence package. Some reports even suggest that certain statements were fabricated, and other materials were tampered with to make Durk look innocent. As soon as the authorities caught on to this, they immediately dismissed the evidence, calling it inadmissible in court. And because of this, the situation for Durk just got a whole lot worse. Not only is he still in detention, but now there are no updates on his final sentence. The case is at a standstill, and the longer this drags on, the more likely it is that the prosecution will push for the maximum penalty. Think about it. If the court now believes that there was an attempt to manipulate evidence, that could further damage Durk's credibility. Judges and prosecutors don't take kindly to situations like this, and it could mean even harsher consequences. So where does this leave Durk? What are his next options? And how is the hip-hop world reacting to this bombshell revelation? First, let's talk about Durk's legal team. With the evidence from 50 Cent now being dismissed, his lawyers have to scramble to find a new strategy. At this point, they either have to come up with fresh, solid proof that clears Durk's name, or they have to try and negotiate a plea deal, which might mean Durk pleading guilty to lesser charges just to avoid the worst possible outcome. But even a plea deal isn't guaranteed. The prosecution hasn't backed down at all, and now that this fake evidence has come to light, they might not even be willing to negotiate anymore. Meanwhile, 50 Cent's involvement in this mess has raised a lot of questions. Did he know the evidence was fake? Was he set up? Or was he simply misled by someone feeding him false information? 50 has always been a strategic businessman, and he's not the type to make careless moves. But this situation is making people wonder if he might have miscalculated by jumping in. Some fans think he was genuinely trying to help Durk, while others believe he was using the case for publicity. Whatever the truth is, one thing's for sure: his attempt to save Durk has completely backfired. Now let's talk about the reaction from the hip-hop world. As expected, social media exploded once this news broke. Some fans are heartbroken, saying that Durk doesn't deserve this and that the system is rigged against him. Others are angry, blaming 50 Cent for making things worse and questioning why the evidence was even presented in the first place. But there's also a group of people who believe that Durk might have been guilty all along, and that this failed evidence attempt was just another desperate move to escape justice. And then there's the biggest question of all: what about Durk's rivals? You already know that Durk has had major beef with NBA YoungBoy